Hey everyone, gonna catch up on a few requests today. And I had one which is spring can really hang you up the most. I'm a very optimistic person and I rarely get depressed. So songs that are like depressing have never been my thing. And so I've never performed this song, and I doubt if I've even played it more than once, just looking at the chart. But, it's in the key of C, and I don't really know what I'm going to cover on this other than that the sheet music from the New Real Book 2, actually, is down there in the description if you want to print it out and play through the song yourself. It starts off just going back and forth between these two chords. Right? And if you haven't learned how to improvise over these, you could do... just using two scales, the C major scale, put passing notes in where you want, and the B flat Lydian dominant scale. Something that is just very common in most jazz standards. If you go to the 2 chord, and it's a dominant instead of a minor, it's frequently the Lydian dominant scale, right? We have, from a D major scale, we have sharp the 4th, that makes it Lydian. We have flatted the 7th, that makes it dominant. And in B flat, it looks like this. To me, this is the most interesting part of the song right here. Is look at these chords. If you thought of them as 2-5-1s, you've got a 2-5 in A flat, then a 2-5 in E, a 2-5 in C. So your 3 key centers there are A flat, E, and C, and that seems a lot like giant steps to me. Isn't giant steps kind of built on the same thing? It's got the F minor, B flat, E flat, and then it's got one in B, and it's got one in G. Yeah, so it's the same idea there. Yeah, and then you would go back and do the first one again. And there you've got giant steps in A flat or something. Going on. All right. And once again, now the chords are a little bit different here. It's just going to be flat major 7th. So what's the best scale to use there? In C, we use the Ionian mode. All right? We call it the Ionian mode because we want to confuse people as much as possible. Instead of calling it the major scale, we're calling it the Ionian mode. Very clever. B flat major, we'll use the Lydian mode here. And typically when you have a major 7th chord, if it's the root of the song, like if it's in the key of C, and if you have a C major 7th, because that's the key we're in, stick to the Ionian, but any other major 7th, put the Lydian in, and it gives you a common tone usually with the C major scale, so they blend together better. Like, we have that E, that's the Lydian note, right? Remember from the Lydian dominant scale, but we're not going to put A flat in because it's not Lydian dominant, it's a major chord, so a major scale, even if it's a Lydian scale, is going to be the best. Let's jazz it up, make it a happy song. What do you think? And, here it's just a typical 1-6-2-5, scale tone 7th chord. So now notice I'm playing them kind of in an amateurish way here. But if I realize that I could take certain notes out, it's going to sound better. And I just left the 5th out of each one. Left the 5th out because the melody, for one, you really need the 5th in most chords. It's nice to have it sometimes, but the melody is always hitting the 5th. There's the 5th up there. Here it is. Okay. Now I went to an E flat diminished there instead of the D7 because I want to make it like night and day. All right, so it's the same chord progression basically, and a E flat diminished there. That could be thought of as a D7 with a flat 9, so I'm not really straying too far from the original chord. And if you're into the Barry Harris thing, if you play an E flat diminished and you change one note, you can make it into all these different 7th chords, like A flat 7th, or B 7th, or D 7th. So see, I'm not too far off there. And to improvise, back to C Ionian there. That's the C major scale on the E minor 7th. You don't want to put the 9th in if you're trying to stay, really within the harmonic structure of the song. I mean, you can get really far out, and do like, you can make them all altered chords like F sharp 7th, sharp 9, F 7 sharp 9, E7 sharp 9, E flat 7 sharp 9. See, now I don't know how that'd sound if you were improvising a ballad and you had a wonderful singer. She'd probably give you the fisheye on that, but it's a possibility. Sharp 9 won't work here because of the melody. I could make it a sharp 11 though. All right. And then we have another verse there in the A section, almost identical. Maybe the melody's a little different. I like the bridge. The first time I played it, I played C 7th there just because that's so typical. It sounds right, but it's kind of nice with that major 7th. And, you could keep a pedal tone there of C. If you wanted to. And then we get on to the same thing in F here. Turn. All right. And so what is this? This is the F, B, E, A, D. So we're following the cycle of fifths, basically. But it's coming out to the wrong key. It should come out to C major, but it comes out to G major. And then it's just, oh shit, we're in the wrong key. Let's get back to C. So, it's clever, I suppose. And I don't know if I was writing the song, maybe I would have tried to make it work out. Yeah, I would have added another couple measures or something, I guess. And then, is it pretty much the same? You know, if Bill Evans was playing this song, I bet he'd do something like that. All right, it goes into this long kind of ending here, too. If we take that coda, you know, all of a sudden it switches up a half step. No, that's a common kind of change. Kind of unusual the way they did it, though. The party's over, old man Winter. Or maybe. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'd do with that ending there. All right, that's all I got on this one. I hope you enjoyed the song. Sheet music is in the description. If you're so inclined, leave a nice comment down there, or just hit the like button, and that helps the channel. Thanks so much, everyone.